Hi, welcome to McBoss Capital Channel. My name is Michael Chu. This is part two for this week ending October 10th, 2025. We have a very big down day on Friday after the news announcement that there's possible new tariffs on China due to the rare earth restriction of exports. And it could be 100% tariffs and on top existing ones. So that really pushed the market down a lot during the day, and it never really recovered. And we're seeing a lot of growth stocks getting hammered. Right here, we can see that on downtrend, based on the list I have, roughly 410 stocks here. In downtrend, there's 361. Yeah, and that's pretty much 90% almost like of the stocks are in downtrend. Only 9% of stocks are still in uptrend. Um, but again, that's probably pretty barely like above their short-term moving average. So very weak market. Growth stocks are taking a big tumble. Here's the list that I follow. Here's symbols. Here's a ranking based on price performance since July 14. Now we are, that's over 3 months now, like July, October, yeah. So now we are heading into a new earnings season. So that's going to bring extra risk to some of this stuff. So so yeah, I think some stocks are going to go into correction mode especially if they miss their earnings or if their peers miss their earnings. Most of the time, the stocks will follow their peers. So I think there's a lot of risk right now. And in October, we didn't get any, we had a good September, and that's unusual. And now we are in mid-October. We could have a easily 2 to 3 weeks pullback correction here that will bring a lot of stocks back down and building a new base, and then we might be set up for the end of the year. That's kind of my hope that that will happen. If it doesn't happen and we see a bounce right away, like let's say, I don't know, the tariff news thing, become a non-news, like, things got resolved very quickly. And of course, there's other issues, like I said, like earnings to be coming up, but a lot of analysts are expecting good earnings, so I don't know. But maybe the expectations are too high, evaluation are also very high. So lots of factors, right? Like I said, I think this is a risk-off environment at this moment. Again, people will always say, "Oh, let's buy the dip," right? Yeah, there's a chance of that, always happening. But to me, the sell-off is so severe on Friday that it's abnormal behavior. Especially when there's no, um, it's not like the 100% tariff is in place, or that it's going to be in place. So anything can change, but yet the market reacts so negatively. The other thing that's happening is obviously the shutdown. Like I heard that layoffs is happening right now, in some federal programs. So no numbers have been released yet, but that could also bring the market into more of a risk-off environment. So things to be aware of. But anyhow, there's not many stocks in uptrend. I mean, there is some, but a lot of them didn't make new high for sure even then. So like in terms of number of stocks making new high on Friday, again, most of this reversed. So in the morning, some of this might have gone up, but they actually reversed. So let me just bring a few examples here. So let's say CN here. Here's CN. So here we go. We just barely make a new high and then we reverse. And the severity of making a new high and then reversing to 10-day, to me, that is a very abnormal behavior, right? Like just the speed of how fast after making a new high and coming back all the way to 10 days, usually like a very bad negative, reversal here. So I'll be more cautious, right? Buying on any bounce, usually like I buy on strength. So when stocks make new high, in this case it's outside bar and it's trading near the 10-day already. Like we can easily break this like hard next week, right? So again, when stocks top, they tap fast, So we talked about this in previous uh videos. Here's Reddit. I mean, it was already corrected. Here's another example of how it got rejected at 10 days. It's trying to find support here, but again, it got rejected once again, making lower low than Thursday. When you make a lower low after hitting a higher high, it's never a good thing. So again, another outside bar here. Continue with the new high list here. Again, you can see many examples of this on Friday. You see another making a slightly higher high on Friday morning and then reversing all the way to 10 days. Now we do have, I did add the stocks. This is MP in the rare earth, and this whole tariff thing sparked because of China restriction of rare earths metals, right? And MP is definitely one of the stocks that are benefiting from all this restriction and stuff. This is not a strong fundamental yet. It is better though, so that's why I added to this list. Like after this quarter, it will be improving, to positive earnings. At least that's what is projected. And sales are increasing. Now this is obviously again very very expensive stock. Um, you know, but the chart looks pretty good. We have this nice, run here. We built this nice base here. Let me go to the daily chart. We just broke out this week, but it came back in. So it's common for stocks to come back in. And but here, this is a nice cup handle here. The handle is a little bit deeper, and then we come up here again, and then we consolidate once more, pull back, and then we came out Friday morning, but we reversed because of the market condition. So overall, I think this is still looks pretty good. So we'll see in coming days how this perform. But if we can stay above this line here, that'll be a very good sign, and might be good to add some position here as this is becoming a hot topic right now. The other stock that is also moving related to this is USA Rare Earth. This one has moved a lot more, 6% from this base right here. This one's not on my list because the earnings projection are just not there. But yeah, but this is one that is moving a lot more. So this is in the 2 billion cap versus MP, which is in 13 billion cap. Here we are quoting also one of the strong performer. And again we see a higher high, but then it has reversed on Friday. And this one actually broke the 10-day, so this one looks a little bit weaker, down almost 5%. Next we have Celestica. This one also tried to come out, but then it fell back down to where the 10 and 21 day is. So we'll see. It has found lots of support recently, and we'll see how this goes. Here's Fix, also reversed. So this one also trading tightly recently, come back to the 10-day. Here's ANET. ANET also trying to come out very strong recently. Pull back, but this one looks pretty good, right? Because it's still way above the 10-day. So this one is a potential here. VRT, this one also came out. It did move a lot in the morning. Look at how much it moved in the morning, like to the upper side. And then it did reverse though, but it still closed positive. This is Audio Eye trying to slow. This one has a lot of problem coming out. But because the price is kind of compressed, so it doesn't look as good, but it did try to come out, and but it reversed pretty hard on Friday. Marvel Technology, this one also make new high in the morning and then reverse really really strong, down 5.5%. One health stock here in the mix. Here we have this huge breakout here from trend line and also the 200-day rise, followed through really strongly. Friday gave back some. It's still above the 10-day, so that relative strength is still very strong. So one to definitely watch. Empower, monolithic power. This one, making new high, comes all the way back down to 21 day. Pretty negative there. Here we have ALNT here, alien and electrical power equipment, making new high, also coming back. And this one trying to break out recently, and it's still above the 10 days, so I would watch this because this one has built in a nice base here. This is Monster Beverage, surprisingly doing really well. This is a recent base and pull back to the short-term moving average, and then found support once right here, and then now it's been moving up nicely. So this is definitely bucking the trend, and relative strength is very high right now. It's rising. Zscaler, this one also trying to move recently after this support right here, and Friday it comes down not too bad, 1%, very close to the breakout point. Here's Cencora, medical wholesale drug supplier, also doing really well. Here's the breakout point, and it's able to fall through even on Friday. So that looks pretty good. Then we also have Nvidia. We talked about that in the main market video. Please follow that. So at the coming back to the top, the whole list here, you see a lot of gold, like the blue area here, gold commodities, right, in the gold silver area in the top here. And one of the problems with gold is that as the gold price hit higher, it did come back down really hard on Thursday, but it bounced back on Friday. But the problem is like the gold price is acting better. You can see relative strength hitting new highs. But if I go to the GDX minus here, for the stocks, it's not behaving the same way. The relative strength hit new highs. So Some of the gold stocks didn't actually do that well on Thursday and Friday. Some did bounce back on Friday, but not all did. So that's the only problem I see there. So let's quickly look at some of these top ones. So CDE. So here you go, Thursday and Friday. It continued follow through on the downside, which is not a good thing, even though the gold price was up. And the other thing I did draw here is the upper channel line. So you can see it came pretty close to passing the upper channel line before the pullback. So that was a little sign that hey, maybe this is too extended, right? Here's HL, another same thing happening here. Like, both days are down. It didn't bounce back like we would see. Now they both still above the 10 days, so there's a chance that it could bounce still. But yeah, we'll have to watch for that. Next we have SSRM. This one looking very weak. Look at this. This is now below 21 days. So there's definitely some divergence here in terms of stock performance. And this is, you can see, relative strength line is now going down. MUX, this one was pulling back on Thursday after new high. Friday, surprisingly, it was still trying to go for the new high again before reversing. So this one is still way above the short-term moving average. So this one is acting stronger than most stock, and therefore the relative strength line is still at the top here. Then we have GFI here, Goldfield. This one also below the 10-day, not a good sign. It did try to bounce back on Friday a little bit. And then we have some other mining areas. This Euro copper area. So this one also come down very hard. Look, 2 days down. Again, this one surpassed the top channel line as well. Here's shows technology, energy, solar area. This one also making new high on Thursday. Friday it tries to go for it again before reversing. So again, most of these are pulling back. On the health side, which there's a few stocks that are doing well, like for example ESPR, but this week it took a really big tumble on Wednesday here. Huge volume. This was down 16%. So the chart was looking pretty good, and then it started showing some pulling back action. Here is, trying to hold tight, but then here it gives up. So I'm not sure exactly the news, but yeah, it dropped pretty hard. Also now in the downtrend. This was also doing really well, showing the ANT movement here. Again, this one show a little bit of a topping signal here as it crossed the upper channel line right here on Thursday before reversing really hard, and Friday we followed through as well on higher volume. So this is a very negative sign. Yeah, where UNFI is still an uptrend, TEM also still an uptrend, Prime starting to come back down now. Here's Prime Medicine here, make a new high here, and then now we're seeing a strong resistance trend line forming, and we make a new high, lower low, sorry, on Friday. So this is starting to become a little bit problematic. SNDX still trying to hold near the moving average. MU, this is in computer data storage. This was also one of the more recent stronger performers, and we have talked about a week ago on Monday, actually, yeah, a week ago, actually this week on Monday, and it reversed, and now we're making lower lows. So yeah, so the downtrend line is starting to form. Other stock in this group, data storage group like MU, is Seagate here. Look at this, breaking 6 days down in a row, 7 days now actually. So look at how fast it's coming off the highs. It's now 19% from the highs here. Just be careful when we see stocks that have run up so much. I mean, the correction, even if it comes down to the red line, it can be, quite a bit here, right? It could be, who knows, like 30% or more. So, depending on where you got in the stock, if you can get out, it could be a severe, pullback and correction. Here's WDC also coming down as well. Not as much as Seagate, but it's coming down. Here's SanDisk also coming down. This one looks slightly better because it's still above the previous low here, but let's see. PSTG, this one also came down Friday. It was acting pretty well, but it reversed. It's still near the 10 days, so it still looks okay. Still in the uptrend in the biotech. Next we have Residual Technologies in the security area. So this one is now formed a downtrend line and broke the 10-day here. Now it's sliding below the pink line, which is the 21-day. So again, this is a very strong stock. Again, after a period of long run, like yes, they could bounce back, but if they start to break some key short-term moving average like the 10-day, and then the 21-day, you gotta be more cautious because there's a whole gap here to fill if it has to correct more. We have Pro here, still holding the short-term moving average. Lumentum, LITE, this one also starting to form. Like one of the things that again I talk about this in recent days and even week is how watch where the stock get rejected. This one, again, another one that get rejected exactly at the short-term moving average and making new low. That's always not a good sign. We have UTHR also going downtrend. App loving, here's app loving again. We had a huge down day here, and now we are already making new closing low. So again, this is really testing the patience of people still owning this stock, and we are getting close to the 50-day red line. KRMN, aerospace defense, still holding up a little bit above the 10-day. MOD, this one again starting to also come back down below the 10-day here. We have more stocks in the gold area. Barrick here in the downtrend. AU here also in the downtrend. Here's CECO. This one, trading really tight, but it's just not making much movement lately. And now we're starting to form this high downtrend line here. This is CENX in the aluminum area. This one also has a strong uptrend. It's still above the 10-day, pulling back the last 2 days. So, we'll see if there's a bounce here. This one has been acting really strong lately. XMTR is still in downtrend. Live, SVM, silver cord here, also forming a downtrend line here as it cuts through its 10-day. Here's CRDO technology. This one was also a nice leader, this last rally. Again, this one has corrected and find support here. The red line comes back up, but got rejected once again. So we're starting to form this, pendant type of formation. So it could go up here or it could go down here. We don't know. ALHC, medical managed care still in uptrend. FTAI downtrend. MDGL downtrend. ALNY holding up still. AMD. So AMD has been really strong lately. Here's the run here, the gap up, and then it also starting to fall a little bit back to near its 10-day. So we'll see how it react in coming days as the 10-day rise. We have KNSA in the downtrend. A lot of the semiconductor dropped pretty hard as well. SITM here. We have LSCC here. Another silver stock PAS. NATL in downtrend. Eton, Rambus in downtrend. First Solar also coming back down. ABDL Biotech, PHC, Edible Drugs, all these are in downtrend. OR in the gold is now in downtrend. Sterling, STRL in downtrend. AEM, another gold stock in downtrend. We still have some stock holding out. SYM, ARDT, CPS in downtrend. Stone, downtrend. Tesla in downtrend. We did that analysis on the main market video. MERM, CVI, AGI, all this in downtrend. ARQT, ASTH, SMTC, we talk about Reddit, all in downtrend. TPC, FNV, another gold stock in downtrend. So as you come down this list, you're seeing more and more stocks in downtrend now. It's just unbelievable how many of them are below the short-term moving average now. That's always a big concern. Because human act on psychology, like there's a lot of psychology to the stock market. When is panic gonna set in, right? When there's a sell off, who's gonna be the last one to sell off? It's really test your patience, because for those who are holding right now, they're probably you're probably thinking, well, it's gonna bounce, I'm waiting for the bounce, and some of them might want to buy more on the bounce, some of them might want to sell some on the bounce. So many things can happen, but that's the psychology, right? Waiting for this to turn around. But if it doesn't come around in the near term, then we're heading much lower, and you could easily give back a lot of your gains in the last 3 months very quickly. So that's just something to be mindful of. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of stocks, even Oracle. Let me jump to that. Look at Oracle. I mean, this was a huge gap up after they announced that they're going to see much more revenue, for forward booking guidance. But this stock have given back a lot from the top here. Now it's still acting pretty well recently. I mean, I took a jab at it, but I mean, I got shaken out on Friday. I mean, I got shaken out on a lot of stock on Friday because I was trying for it. But it's just not it's not working. So again, that's how I manage my risk. Look at this, it's down 15% from the top. I mean, it's not bad. It was up a lot this week right here, this 1 week, if you were in it. But if you weren't in it during that day, which up 25%, most likely you are probably down because you're probably buying at a higher price. So again, there's no guarantee that this is gonna work. And if I draw a trend line here, like I said, we came above that trend line, but it fell. Um, it could still work, given more time. Who knows? It might just go sideways and then come back up this way. But we'll have to see what's gonna happen here. Yeah. So again, go through this list. A lot of them just in downtrend. Unfortunately, and some areas are getting hit harder than others. Financials, like I said, is very, very weak, and I'm not liking that at all in the last 3 weeks. Here's SOFI. So this one was trying to come out and came all the way back down. Yeah, so this was one of the few that was doing okay, but then again got hit hard. So I think, like, again, long story short, um, let me come back to the Excel here just to show you the history, right? So, it's been a while since we have, like, I don't remember seeing anything lower than 20% uptrend. So 90% of the market is right now of the growth stocks that I follow are now in downtrend. So that is severe. Like, if I go back, I don't see anything that was, even remotely close. So to me, this is almost constitute like a correction is in play right now. And until, you know, who knows? Like, I'm not saying this couldn't happen right away, but it could bounce next week really hard, and many of the stocks will be in uptrend mode again. But until that happens, I'm gonna, give it the reasonable the doubt that this downtrend will continue. So that's how I follow the momentum, and that's how I trade. And I hope, the market will turn around soon, but I won't know for sure. So thank you all for watching this. I hope you enjoy this video. Please like and subscribe, and have a good weekend. And if you want to watch more of my analysis live, I do stream every morning. Usually between 8:30 and 9 a.m. Mountain time. So yeah, thank you.